Once upon a time, there was this wonderfully funny musician named Larry Goldings.
If you are experiencing happiness and you know it, demonstrate your joy and enthusiasm by clapping your hands with delight and a sense of excitement.
So I've been thinking about two things recently. One was a question from Sergey at the 2-5 hang, link below to the next one. And the other thing was listening to a new tune that I'm learning. How do these two things link? Well, let me tell you a story. Sergey asked, how do you tell a story when you play a solo? Let's rewind a little bit. I said I was learning a tune. The tune I was learning is called Nobody Else But Me. And when I learn a new tune, I like to create a playlist of just that tune. I find whatever's out there with that tune and make a playlist. And I was listening to the Live at Smalls, Peter Bernstein, Larry Goldings, and Bill Stewart, and came upon Larry Goldings' solo. Larry Goldings' solo from this tune, Nobody Else But Me, Live at Smalls, is one of the best storytelling solos that I've heard in a long time. And I fell in love with it. I love the pacing of it. I love everything about it. We're about to go over it here in just a minute. Real quick, I just want to mention that the playing from all three of these wonderful musicians are just so spot on in this live atmosphere. Bill Stewart is doing some of the tastiest stuff you'll hear on drums, and it's just a wonderful album. You could tell these three guys played together for a while, and it's just a wonderful the whole album's amazing, so I highly suggest you checking it out. Been a big fan of Larry Goldings for a while. I love his playing. I think he does some really great creative stuff, Scary Pockets, and he's got a new album out with Melinda Sullivan that's really, really cool. So check all of this stuff out. You won't be disappointed. He's an amazing, funny musician, comedian. I don't even know what to call him because he's amazing. He's awesome. Seems like a really cool hang. Anyways, let's get to this solo. There's no transcription for this solo. I want you to purely use your ears, actively listen to how he's telling this story. I'm going to point out certain things and stop and rewind as we go through this, but I really want you to just listen. Don't worry about the transcription. Don't worry about anything like that. Use your ears and enjoy the story. All right, here's the start of the solo. All right, starting out strong there with similar intervals. So that's minor thirds. Ba-boo, 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 ba-boo. Beautiful. He's going to move into this shape, this symmetrical shape. So check this out. Repetition here. Continuation of that idea. There's a statement there. Oh yeah. Okay. So he's got that statement, that initial statement, then he repeats it, right? He's developing a motif here. And then he's going to take like some space, change the rhythm element of it, but keep the same shape and motif. All right, let's check that out again. It's worth another listen. Original statement. Space. Yes. All right, so ba-ba-beep, ba-do-da, ba-do-da, right? So repetition, same kind of shape. It's going that ascension, that ascending kind of line, triad or spaced triad or spaced intervals in the same kind of movement. He's just moving it around just ever so slightly, but it makes a difference. And the way that he's phrasing it and playing it rhythmically is having a big impact. Let's listen to that one more time too. Keep that top note was the same. That note, that note is very prominent right now. Triplet idea. Ooh. This chromatic idea here. Yes. All right. So we had that really cool chromatic kind of motif going, and then he seamlessly just works that into that. Those are minor seventh chords descending. Not that you need to like hear that, but that's pretty classic language. That's what minor sevenths descending in fourths. That is minor seventh chord descending in fourths. B D double do ba ba bo do. Let's listen to him play it again. You don't need to hear me sing it. All right, here we go. love that. Here's that chromatic motif. Right there. Little turnaround action. Yeah. All right, that's the second chorus there. And as you can see, he starts it out with repetition, some voice leading, some motivic development. Just absolutely beautiful stuff. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Larry. All right, so I know we didn't transcribe anything, but what can we take away from that solo? Well, the phrasing, the pacing, the space, the way that he put everything together was beautiful, was wonderful to listen to, and just an amazing solo. I mean, if I played that chorus, I'd be so stoked. I'd be like, wow, I've arrived. That is, I have a statement. I said something meaningful. Did you notice how much repetition there was? There was repetition in there. I said it again, repetition. Linking common tones and ideas. I was turned on to this idea. Big shout out to Chad Eby, amazing saxophone player and teacher, educator out in North Carolina. He once said, ask yourself, are you listening to what you just played? Are you listening to what you just played? That can take you a long ways. If you just played something and you finish a phrase, are you listening to what you just played and then maybe starting your next phrase related to what you just finished? Or are you just starting a completely new idea every time you stop playing? You might not be telling a very good story if you're telling a story that starts talking about a dog, then goes to a water park, and then goes to a barbecue. Those three things might interchange at some point, but they don't make a really great story unless you can link them somehow. So try to listen and reflect on what you just played. And I promise you this will make your solos go to another level just doing that. Just listening to what you're playing. That's a pretty easy task. You don't even need to practice. You just need to practice listening to what you just played. You can play all the same ideas, just listen to what you just played. Link those ideas through repetition, rhythmic rhyming, or motivic development. The way to start doing this is to improvise slowly. Try to improvise slow enough that you can think about what you're going to do next, or you can think about the thought you just had and then bring it to the next phrase. This might be tedious at first, but slow practice is so important to develop your ears and your ideas and get new stuff into your playing. Along with playing slowly, take small chunks of the tune and practice those small chunks, maybe 4 bars at a time, maybe 8 bars at a time. Try playing a 2-bar phrase and then creating a 2-bar phrase that links up with the 2-bar phrase before. And if you can only handle 4 bars at a time at first, just stick with 4 bars and work your way through the tune. Start with smaller chunks in order to digest this stuff a little bit more, and then slowly work your way up to bigger chunks. This is the best explanation I can give to you on how to tell a story on your next solo. So enjoy, use these concepts, learn from all the masters. This is just one example of that, Larry Goldings. There's plenty of them out there. Just remember, always positive, always progressing. Later.